Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to another episode of Live with Wolfman, episode number 13. Getting started a little bit late today, but that's alright. If you're here, say what up. Drop a hello in the comments. We're going to get started in a little bit. Doing my regular thing where I get things cooking. Today we're talking about the best creative forms. Who are the best creative forms competitor of all time? Creative forms division is the division where you can't do any tricks, but you don't have to do just strictly traditional stuff. It's that halfway in between one. So that's the topic of today. So if you're here, say hey, yo, what's up? And we're gonna get started real soon. I'm excited. Yesterday I had to do the show really early, and I had a little fluke, and I realized that a lot of people hadn't seen the show, and then I had to share it again to get it out there. So thank you guys who tuned in and watched yesterday's replay. And if you're watching today's replay, don't be afraid to hit the floating thumbs up right now so you don't forget. Don't be afraid to leave a comment even though it's a replay. I'll hit you back up. And don't be afraid to hit the share button so that more people can join the show. We're going to get started in a little bit. Yo, what's up? Phil? What up, Amy? Hey, you notice that the music is way more clear today, right? I'm excited. I'm excited about this because I had to do some fancy, tricky stuff on my computer. Oh, man. Let me take off these headphones here. Yeah, so if you notice, this live stream's way different than other live streams because we got the logo on the thing, and then I can flop or switch between different screens. I can pop in graphics. I can play YouTube videos and stuff. And that's because I'm using some special software. And on top of the software, it had limitations, and it wouldn't let me broadcast the audio coming from my computer to you guys unless it came out my speakers, and then that degraded the quality and stuff. So I found this little hack. And this magical little hack that allows me to play the audio to you guys is a huge step, because now I have pretty much everything that I need to be able to have guests come on the show. So, yes, I'm super excited about that. I'm going to start booking guests so that we can have a little bit of chat about whatever we want to talk about, and the whole dynamic of the show is going to totally change. Today is episode number 13, by the way, in case anybody has been counting out there. Yo, what's up, guys? Say hello if you're here. I'm going to be tuning in and checking in on the comments over here. Mickey's here, and Mickey's already jumping in. He's talking about who are the best creative competitors. That's the topic of today, who are the best creative forms competitors. I'm going to be playing your suggestions on this feed today. That's my goal. I'm actually going to go to the Facebook post that I made earlier today and see what you guys had to say. I saw a couple responses earlier. How are you guys liking the show? Do you like people that are tuning in on a regular time? What are your thoughts? Do you have any feedback, any improvements you want to see, any things you wish you would see on the show? I really want to grow this, and I want this to be a show that's not just about me, but it's about everybody. It's about everybody's participation, and we can grow martial arts and media. We can grow it together. We got a drop in the comments here. Should I just start making a playlist? I think I should just make a playlist. So if you guys have creative forms suggestions, oh, you can probably hear that, huh? Sorry about that. If you've got some creative forms suggestions, drop them in. That's what we're talking about today. I'm going to get started officially with the show in about another minute or so. Monica's like, I'm here but not for long. Make it good at the beginning. Okay, Monica. Well, I'll try not to fail you. Wally's here. Wally knows everything about martial arts and who's the best competitors. So Wally, we're talking about the best creative forms competitors. So if you got links, drop them in the comments. We'll play them up on the live show today. Eric Day's loving it. Josh Bailey, it's awesome. Love the mix of martial arts content and pro tips. Yeah, so, just a little history lesson for you guys. I grew up doing martial arts, and I was an instructor, and I got the black belt, and I had my own little competition team and all that kind of stuff. And then I got to a point of do I want to open a school? Is that like my career path? Do I want to be an instructor? And I didn't feel like that was for me. I just didn't feel like that was the path I really wanted to go. And so I decided instead I'm going to go to college. And I learned a little bit about media here and there. And I was like, well, how can I take what I learned in school in media, and how can it's one of my passions, and how can I blend it with the passion of martial arts? And that's why we're here today. And that's why I can talk about fluently. I can talk about martial arts with you guys just as fluently as I can talk about media and marketing and all that stuff. And I feel like if I can share what I know with you guys, you're going to be able to enhance everything that you're trying to do. Whether you're trying to be a better athlete, or you're a parent of an athlete, or you're an instructor or a school owner, there's a lot to be learned, and a lot you can benefit from learning media with your martial arts. And that's kind of like where I live in the world, and so that's what the show is about. And so yeah, I'm going to be bouncing back and forth. I try to keep every episode interesting, totally worth your time. Who else is here? Richard Osborne, thank you, sir. Yeah, more exposure to the sport, the better. And even more so, the more we can grow the community together and educate each other and talk about the sport, create the conversation. That's how we grow. It's not like I can only sit here and preach all day and night, but if nobody's listening, then it doesn't grow. It really depends on all of us coming together. So, which leads me to hit the share button. If you haven't done so, hit the share button. Let's get more people in the feed today. Josh Bailey has a suggestion for best creative form. Awesome. Wally's got a suggestion. Awesome. Yeah, we're talking about best creative forms today, so feel free to drop in your favorite creative forms competitors. And I think that I have had quite enough of this. Let's transition. Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, welcome to Live with Wolfman, episode 13. I'm your host, Jacob Wolfman, and you are watching a show about martial arts, media, photography, videography, all the things that I'm interested in and all the things that you're interested in. This is a live stream format, which means it's not just about me, it's about we. You got to leave your comments, and I will respond to the comments. Today, we are talking about the best creative forms competitors. That's the topic of today. Yesterday, we talked about photography tips, and in the past, we talked about videography tips. We've talked about the best tricking. We've talked about the best extreme competitors, the best competitors of all time, the most underrated competitors, and then just all kinds of stuff. Every show is different, and I hope that every show is interesting and exciting to you. So today we're talking about best creative forms. All right, I already have suggestions flowing in the comments. Keep them dropping in here. And if you're watching the replay, you still can leave comments, like seriously, because if you watch a replay, someone else is about to watch that replay. They'll see your comment, and that's how the internet works, you know. Let's do it. You guys ready for this? Let me pop up my share the show icon while I get my computer screen all situated here. All right. Woo! I'm pumped. So, ladies and gentlemen, the first competitor of the day, his name is Vince Johnson. Let's watch it. Most creative competitors. This is Vince Johnson. Give me a floating thumbs up if you can hear the audio just fine. All right, we have featured Vince Johnson before, and so he is no stranger to this show. And everything about Vince Johnson is creativity. He defines creativity. We're going to talk about how to be a better creative forms competitor today as well. So Vince Johnson is just, he does things that other people aren't doing, which is why he's creative. See that? We're going to watch this again because Vince, this is a great way to start the show. You'll notice that everything he does is strong. Like when it comes to martial mechanics, super strong. But he's also crazy. He's crazy creative. Let's check it out one more time. All right. This is, I mean, I've seen this form, but it's been a while. I actually think I saw this form in person. I think I was sitting on the edge of the ring here when I watched this. So if you think about what a lot of competitors do, a lot of them start their forms in a very similar way. It's like the and the and the in the the same. Everybody does the same thing over and over again. So Vince is like, all right, I'm gonna do the same kind of like dramatic build up, but I'm gonna do it in my own way, still using martial mechanics. See, like the little thing, like he's just like he like does like that step behind. It's all about standing out and being creative and like being remembered. Vince Johnson was not one of those competitors that you always saw on stage winning, but he's always one of those competitors that people are recommending on the show because everybody remembers him. He left a mark in the sport. He left his legacy right here. So that's the value of being a creative competitor, is like you're not a clone. You're not the same as everybody else. You have something unique and cool to offer the world. So give it up for Vince Johnson. Float those floaty thumbs uppy things and those floaty heart things. Who else? What else we got going on today? Who else is tuning in? Shane. Oh my God, that was brilliant. It was brilliant. I can't argue with that. Suggestions. You guys got suggestions? Let me see what else you got here. So, Mickey Lee wants to comment on Vince Johnson here. He says, there's power and purpose to all his movements, charisma, unique choreography, very different from the generic cookie-cutter fashion. Love the use of elbows. The one with his head tilted in the double poke to the right. Triple kick ending with the left round kick is also different. Exactly. I know like we have this phrase like cookie cutter, and it's kind of like, it's a little almost insulting, I guess, to modern day competitors who put in their blood, sweat, and tears and train hours and hours and hours on end just to be called a cookie cutter form. But it's not too far off. There is this, I'm kind of ranting here, but there's almost like this fear in the creative division today where your focus is just winning, right? You just want to win. And so what you do is you see what the person who's winning does, and then you do what they're doing. And then you hope to beat them by being them, which to me makes no sense at all. I don't get why people do that, but that is, there is this game of like copy and paste. Oh, you're doing that? Well, I'll do it, and I'll try to do it a little better. Oh, you're doing that? Well, I'll do that, and I'll try to do that a little bit better. But when you always think like that, you get constrained by only doing what other people have creatively thought of. And is that really the point of a creative division if you're not being creative? I don't know. Maybe that's going to help you win, and maybe that's how the division is kind of rigged. But anyhow, let's jump into another. Let's jump into another form. I'm going to be talking and commentating. I gotta admit today, when I thought about doing this episode, I wasn't totally sure if I should or not, because I have some real beef with the creative division. I really think that it's a broken division, and it doesn't work the way that it was intended to. And I was thinking whether or not I should talk about that, and if you guys want to hear your thoughts on if the creative division is perfect or my gripes about it, say in the comments. And if nobody says anything, then I'll just keep my mouth shut. All right, we're going to watch Brandon Osborne. This was another request. I don't know who requested this. Richard Osborne. Well, how about that? Family promoting family. This guy is crazy with the sword. Is he going to do a sword for him? I don't know what's going on here. He's got his Muscle Man shirt on. That's already creative. And again, it's all about being remembered. Let me see what's going on here. I don't know what that was, but I like it. All right. Did he just give him a nuggie? That's how you're creative. Okay. Oh! He's acting like he's going to do a massive jump kick. He's like, nah, I got you. I'm going to kick you in the shin. I don't know what that was either, but that's hilarious. So he's got a little bit of comedy going on here. Deadly comedy. All right, I'm going to grab you. I'm going to punch you in the face. All right, so that was fun. Showing off the guns. Look at all those muscles. So basically, that was a comedy act / martial arts form, but I appreciate it. That was great. That was kind of like a statement against people that you know, do a lot of the same stuff everybody else does. I'm gonna stand up by ripping my shirt off. Well, everybody's tried that already. Not that creative. All right, what else we got going on in the comments here? What else you guys got to say? Josh Bailey, so true. Long setup, left, right, middle, trick to the corner. Oh man, let me just go on. It's rant time. I'm going on a rant right now. You can't stop me. It's my show. When I want to rant, there's no stopping me. I am so sick and tired of the tumble pass to the corner. I know we're talking about creative forms today, but man, what is wrong with this sport, with this tumble pass BS? You all go to the corner, you set like a cheerleader, you wink to the judges, and then you do a gymnastics thing. Like, I don't know if you read the rules wrong and think that you have to do a tumble pass to the corner and like that's part of martial arts, but you don't. That was cool and that was innovative in like 1999. It's so played out. It's not even funny. Like Daniel Sterling used to do a pop front and then you do a tumble pass. That was pretty cool. And that was like 17 years ago and nobody's even doing that anymore. You guys, if you want to be creative, you got to kill the tumble pass. Have the courage to kill it. It's not getting you anywhere in life. You are blending in, and if there's anything is cookie cutter in martial arts, it's the freaking tumble pass. Stop it. Even you top level competitors that I consider you my friends, I just want you to know that I'm silently judging you every time you try to be creative with your tumble pass because you're not creative. You're not. Like, grow the sport. Let's evolve, people. Get rid of the tumble pass. Kill it. I got worked up. I think today is going to be one of those episodes where I get worked up. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of the tumble pass. It's so stupid. Like, I know you can do a backflip because you've already done a backflip. You started your form with a tumble pass. You don't need to do another one. I get it. And like, I'm way more impressed if you want to do a tumble pass and you do it a different way. Like, why go to the corner? Why don't you just do it across the side where there's less distance, requires more skill set? That's cool. Or if you want to do a flash kick, there's so many different ways to do a flash kick. Will Coney's he did a jump spin wheel kick, pop flash. That's sweet. That's awesome. That's a great way to implement the flash kick. But he didn't have to go and do a tumble pass. Granted, that particular form, he did do a tumble pass in his form too. But he did an Arabian. That was way different. At least he stepped it up. Okay, back to your guys' suggestions. I'm sorry. That will not be the last time where I lose my temper and go off about tumble passes because I just don't like them. All right, what's up, guys? Thank you. The Wolfman Rant. Sorry, Mason. Yeah, it's true. I should do a rant cast. Oh man, don't even get me started. You guys are like the fact that you guys tune in and watch me really inflates my ego to dangerous levels. It's going to cause me a lot of harm if I just keep spouting off about these kinds of things. Let's watch some of your suggestions. Let's watch something suggested by Wally Faulkner, 1996, taking it old school. In case you guys didn't figure it out yet, in the martial arts world, in the modern martial arts world, I would be considered old, and so I don't mind playing old videos. It's kind of like your dad always plays this freaking old music on the radio. I'm going to be like that sometimes, and I'm just going to play some old school stuff, so you're going to have to deal with it. But I think it's good. I think it's good for the younger kids to see what the past has offered us. So anyhow, we're going to watch John Valera, one of the greatest competitors in the history of the sport. This is 1996. And mind you, the creative forms division did not exist in 1996, so he may be doing movements that break the rules. So we'll find out. This may not actually be a creative form. This may be an open form. See you later, Josh. John Valera is one of the fastest competitors you'll ever see. Nobody's faster. I've yet to see a competitor faster in the 20-plus years since this video has been filmed. Boom! I love the everywhere kick. I don't know what you would call it. 540 was a big deal back in the day. Look at those clean front kicks. All his kicks are above his head. I know that sounds like obvious, but it's not. Today's competitors don't necessarily always kick that high. I don't know why. They want to get more speed or something. Alright, cool. I appreciate John Valera. I can't pass up on John Valera. But today, I want to focus on creative forms. The creative form division. What are the best creative forms? Now, before we stick strictly to creative forms, I'm actually going to break my own rule, and I'm going to show you guys a competitor that was at the peak of his competition days about a year. It was the year prior to the creation of the creative division. He was winning, beating people that did tricks without doing tricks. He did 1-540, that's it. And that's actually going to lead me to another Wolfman rant. So if you guys are all about the Wolfman rants, like, put some thumbs up right now so I know, and I'm more than happy to Wolfman rant away. Let's check this out. Okay, we're going to watch 2003 Diamond Nationals. This is Seth Haber. All right? This guy is just a machine. He's got everything that I really love in a martial arts form. Oh, look at all those thumbs up. You guys want rants. I got you. No worries. No worries. It's coming. All right. Give me some thumbs up if you can hear this. Look at the raw power. Look at the attitude. Look at the strength, the martial application, and the creative application. Look at the basic kicks. Look at the clean hands. Look at the freaking speed. Bam, bam. Oh, what? Sidekick. I believe he definitely was on stage. I'm pretty sure he was on stage at Diamonds this year for this film. And he had to beat out all the guys doing all the tricks and 5 ways, 5 swipes, and double legs, and whatever twists. And it doesn't help that he was playing some DC boys. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Anyone got Anthony Murata? Mike Walsh? We'll get some Anthony Murata. Alright. I'm going to pause the video for a second, and I'm going to transition over into another Wolfman rant, because you guys apparently like that. So, I do have a rant for you. I do have something that bothers me. This form right here, I believe, epitomizes what the creative division was intended to be about, in my opinion. If the creative division was going to grow into its best possible vision, it would be similar. It would be similar to what Seth Haber does, where he has this strong combination of really clean, solid martial arts mechanics, really high kicks, and standing kicks. And I also have to say that this form is illegal in the creative division because he does a 540. And so that's going to lead me into this rant right here. I have a big problem in the creative division because you aren't allowed, the rules state, there's 2 basic rules, basically. One of the rules is you can't be inverted, which means that your hips cannot go above your head, and you cannot spin more than 360 degrees in the air. The problem I have with these rules is that they aren't carried through consistently. And there are movements that where your hips go above your head, but it's not extreme. And there are also movements where you spin 360 degrees, but they are still illegal in the creative division, but they're not explained why they're illegal. There's nowhere in the rule book that says you can't do a 540 kick. A lot of people think they hear 540 and they're like, well, that's 540 degrees. It's not. It's only 360. If you actually count the in-air rotations, and I promise you, and we can do a whole episode about it, it's only 360 degrees in the air. Cheat 720. How many degrees in the air is a cheat 720? It's not 720, it's 360. There's only 360 degrees of rotation, yet the cheat 720 is illegal in the creative division, despite the fact that it falls within the rules. Why is that? I don't know. I think it's just because the judges just don't know. And the other problem is that some of the judges have figured this out, and they'll allow it. Well, that's not fair to competitors, where some judges will allow one things and some judges will allow other things, and it's not explicitly stated in the rule book. If you think about all of the hours and hours and hours and hours that these competitors put in to creating their forms, and the thousands of dollars that they spend traveling to the tournaments to do their 1 minute and 30-second form, and just to be disqualified for some bogus reason, or to lose to somebody that did something that's constituted as illegal, but a judge allowed it. Not fair, doesn't make any sense, totally stupid. Another thing that I don't like, the invert rule. The invert rule says that you cannot have your hips above your head. I saw back in the day when the creative division was first started rolling out, I still remember I was coaching this girl, and she did her whole form per the division rules, but then at the end of it, she ended her form with a kip up. And if you think about it, a kip up involves your hips going over your head, and then you're up to your feet. She got disqualified, despite the rest of her form was within the rules, because of that. The rules weren't meant to disallow kip-ups. That wasn't why they created it. It's not fair. And maybe today it's a little different and they'll allow kip-ups, and maybe they even updated it to say kip-ups are allowed. I have to go check the rule book, but that's just one example. There's other things that aren't extreme, but where your hips go above your head. Forward roll would be one of them. An abattido, which is the capoeira kick, where you go off one hand and then you kick over your body, right? That's illegal. Why is that illegal? Is that extreme? Not really. That's a martial arts move in capoeira. It's not. It should be allowed. So, all right, let's get back to forms. All right, I'm gonna watch. Let's just watch some Seth Haber. All right. I don't know if I should have done this episode. Just sets me off, man. I hate it. Seth Haber, though. Gotta give credit to Seth Haber. Solid. Eric Day, this is why there should be someone in each circuit who oversees tricking regulations to keep things consistent and fair. Yeah, but the rules should make sense first and foremost. You don't want to wait till after tournament to figure out what you can and can't do. You should know 6 months in advance so that you can train your form to do your best. All right, what else we got in the comments? Who else is here? What other suggestions we got? I see a lot of Vince Johnson. Rudy. You know what? I like Rudy, but I want to... Do you guys have any suggestions of current day competitors? Current day competitors. Cameron, they should update the kip-ups and rules. Absolutely, without a doubt. It's not extreme. They should allow the creative. It's absolutely. Alright, I got DQ'd for doing a illusion kick with my bow at US Open, even though the rules allow it because one foot was on the ground. Tark, I've seen competitors do illusion kicks in the creative division and they're fine. It depends on the judge's move. And that's what I'm talking about. Tark, how long did you train it? How many hours did you put into that form? And then how much money did you put into that airline ticket to fly to Orlando and pay for that hotel room and pay those registration fees and wake up early, all so that you could have that one moment where you're out there for a minute and 30 seconds or whatever or less, and then you get disqualified because the judge decides that he's going to interpret the rules however he wants. So stupid. Mickey Lee, right now in NASCAR rules, they mention exceptions. Creative forms, they allow butterfly kick, which never was illegal. Illusion kick, forward roll, and pickup. What else you gotta say, Mickey? They'll be scored and any other technique. Speed, power, balance, proper execution. Okay, so I'm glad that they added exceptions to particularly allow forward rolls and pickups. That's great. And butterfly kick, which, in my opinion, the butterfly kick was never in a gray area unless you use it over your head. And even then, I once competed against somebody that the butterfly, they did a proper butterfly, so their hits were slightly above their head. And they didn't get DQ'd because the butterfly was so good, the judges decided to just knock off points, which isn't part of the rules. That's what they did. Cameron says a current competitor that we should watch the Allen. Yeah, you know, we watched a lot of Allen stuff, so let's spread the love a little bit. As I said in one other episode, I don't want this to be the Allen show, but I agree. Allen's awesome. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. You guys listening to stuff in the background. Thank you for calling that out. I paused it. So I'm still working out the audio stuff here, guys. I'm sorry about that. Totally sorry. Let me make sure that doesn't happen again. Oh. Seth Lee's in the house. What's up, Seth Lee? Austin Crane. Let's see some. You guys got any more competitors? Current day competitors. I'm gonna show a current day competitor who does a particularly good job in the creative division, but his name is really hard to pronounce or spell. So hopefully I find it. 2005. Is that the last time you competed? All right, 2005. All right, we're going to watch a competitor. His name is Vinny Scarduzio. He's actually been featured on the show before when he was part of Team 100%. He's got really clean stuff, and he's a modern-day guy. He's one of those rare guys that can beat out an extreme competitor using creative moves. And that could lead me into another discussion, another rant, if you guys want to rant. Let me thumbs up if you can hear the audio. I cannot. One of the downsides of this live stream, I can't hear the audio that you guys can hear. I gotta figure that out still. Wow. So you're gonna see Vinny's super clean, full extension and everything. His shoulders and hips, everything are like properly squared. He's looking at his target, like all the things that martial arts is supposed to embody. He does a really good job at it. See how that big extension, really deep stances, like, it's good. Boom. I lowered the volume so you could hear me. I apologize. Oof. Awesome. Oh, this is not a creative form. This is an extreme form. You wouldn't have known the difference until he did that, but I think it still applies. All right, so you guys hear me, right? You guys hear me. I got to say, another reason why I have a gripe with the creative division is because it has been turned into a watered-down extreme division. And what I mean by that is that when the creative division was thought of back in the day, what the reason it was created is because there's a problem in the traditional division. The traditional competitors were starting to do things outside of traditional. They're doing too many flying kicks and crazy stuff that doesn't belong in a traditional context. And so they wanted to create a division that encouraged those crazy funky traditionalists to be crazy and funky in their own division. At the same time, this whole thing of extreme martial arts was popping up, and so that was happening at the same time in the open divisions. Well, what happened is that the creative division just started mimicking the extreme division, taking out the tricks. So it's extreme division. It's the exact same as most competitors, not all. I'm not speaking for everybody. Like Jackson Rudolph doesn't apply because Jackson sticks like straight and creative. He also does weapons, which is a different story entirely. I'm talking about open hand. But most competitors today, when they go off and compete, they train for the extreme division, and then they water down their form for creative. They take out their tricks or they simplify the tricks, but it's the exact same routine in general. It's not really its own thing. It's just like a less. You're holding back on what you're truly capable of. It's your warm up for the creative division, or if somebody that isn't physically equipped or athletic enough to compete in the extreme division, it's their training ground to get better at martial arts so that one day they can have the athleticism to hang with the extreme guys, which isn't how it's supposed to work. The creative division should be able to stand on its own so that a creative competitor has just the same opportunity to beat an extreme competitor or a traditional competitor using martial arts. Like, that's how it's supposed to work. But it doesn't really play out that way. In my eyes, based off of how I've seen tournaments for years, is that the person that goes up there for creative, they don't typically have the same chances of winning as the traditional or the extreme. They're always kind of that third wheel. And I just think it's sad. And I have some solutions. If anybody ever wants to hear my solutions of how we could fix the creative division to really bring out the martial arts and the spirit of what creative was all about, I'm happy to talk about that. But let's go back. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat, and then we'll jump into do some more forms. Cameron, I hate it when people use the same form and just take out their tricks. And I can't. I have a basic rule: don't hate the player, hate the game. As a competitor, to do an extreme form and then to take out your tricks and go and compete in creative with that same form minus the tricks, very smart play. Like, that's a great. It's smart because now you have simplified and been able to focus your training to get really good at what you do, and you can spend all that money to go to these tournaments and you do that form you're really good at, and then you just modify it a little bit and you get to do it again in another division. So you get another shot. So instead of flying halfway across the country for 1 minute and 30 seconds, you now fly halfway across the country for 3 minutes of competition. So I can't hate any competitor that does that, because the way the rules are constructed, the way the thing is constructed, and if you want to play a game to win the game, you should play smart, train smart. That's a smart way to train. But I don't think that. I think the rules should be created in a way where that's not how it should be treated. But it ain't creative. It ain't creative. That's true. In fact, people talk about cookie cutter. We mentioned that earlier in the show, and creative division is cookie cutter extreme division. Agreed. Here's Matt Emig doing a true creative form. All right, Wally, let's jump back old school. Let's watch some Matt Emig. Matt Emig is one of the greatest competitors of all time in the history of the universe. Mike Welch, I also promised you some Anthony Murata. I don't know if you're still on the air, and I think he's a good underdog competitor that kind of got lost in the sand time. Let me just pull up here some Matt Emig. Did you have a particular Matt Emig form? Oh, you do. Okay. Hold on a second, Wally. (2010). Oh, yeah, I remember this one. All right. So I got to give props to Matt Emig, because what Matt did, he was really smart with his choreography. He would train sections of a form. So he might have like 7 sections in the bank, and he would train this section and this section and this section. And then when it came time to perform, he was like, well, I can take this section and this section and this section, and he could glue it together, and he could have different performances every time because he had like all these puzzle pieces that he could glue together. So it always made each time he performed a little fun, a little exciting. Let's check it out. Matt Emig is all about the power. He's all about the strength, the speed. and doing something different. See, it's just the simple things where, like, moving your body weight around and doing different strikes that you don't always see. Huge motions. See? Nice and creative, and, like, it's not just a tornado kick, it's like a tornado side. Boom. And remember, this is 7 years ago. Nobody's competing like this 7 years ago. When, if we were just to watch you as a shadow against a wall, everybody would know this is Matt Emig based off of how he moved. That's really what I respect of martial artists and of trickers, is when you can create your own style in such a way that people just see, they know who you are based off of, like, the motions. They don't even need to see your face. Like, the shadow example is a perfect way to explain it. If you were just to watch a whole competition and just watch people's shadows and you can figure out who they are, then that person's got style. So Matt Emig, got style. Great example. For those of you, like, new in the game today and you're trying to figure out how to win without copying the person that's already winning your division, go back in the history books and check out guys like Matt Emig and check out guys like Vince Johnson. Study and see what they're doing. And Matt Emig in particular, because Matt Emig won. So look at the movements Matt Emig did, and then, you know, base your creativity off of that old stuff and come up with something new. You know, it's kind of like fashion, and it's kind of like music, like old fashioned trends, like the 80s or whatever, like bell bottoms or high waisted jeans or something. Just follow me for a minute. There was like an old style back in the day, and then it wasn't cool, and then like the new generation came in and took the old style and made it cool again. And you could do the same thing in martial arts. You can go back in the history books. You can find what the old guys did to win. You can copy the old guys, mimic them, and then kind of put your own creative twist on it. And now you're going to stand out. And you're going to jump ahead of the current day competition because you're being creative with it. So you're I'm on a ranty mood today. What else we got going on here? No inverted moves. Yeah, it was a creative form. He never went upside down at any point in that particular form. Ryan, I know this is creative talk, but Jason Borelli's form 2004. Not sure when the division split. I think the division did split in 2004, or maybe it was 2005. I didn't know Jason Borelli was competing in 2004 in forms. I thought he was straight up fighting at that point. Mickey Lee, Matt won with extreme, not creative. I don't know. I feel like Matt Emig, I could be wrong, but I feel like Matt Emig won in creative and extreme. And then when he was on stage, he had the choice, and he chose extreme because creative is just a watered-down version of what he's truly capable of. But what do I know? Just here, I'm Kermit the Frog right now. But that's none of my business. Today's episode is brought to you by V8 Fusion Energy Drink Peach Mango. It's got caffeine in it, and it tastes good. I'm looking for sponsors, man. I gotta get some like energy drink sponsors for my show. Get amped up, you know. Let's keep it rolling. Let's watch another form that you guys suggested. I got a suggestion. Well, this is a suggestion from the comments earlier before the show started. 2009. So the creative division definitely existed at this point. This is Monsieur Marcel Jones. I think Marcel Jones is one of the greatest creative competitors. He did it right. This video was filmed by Wally, by the way. Wally's in the comments. Give props to Wally. What was his nickname? People used to call him Captain Karate. Because he's just like, he wins because he's clean and strong and powerful and like all the things you want in martial arts. That's him. Boom, boom, boom. Like every time he does something with his hands, you can imagine that could cause damage. that could inflict damage, and it's not. It doesn't look so dancey. You know what I mean? Like, his style is a little bit more slowed down in a sense than some other competitors. Not knocking anybody, but just pointing out what makes him unique. So, like, you see how he does a big move, and then it's just bam. Like, that forearm, you can see the power, the martial power there. It's awesome. Marcel Jones, awesome person, definitely deserves to be on the show today. Best creative competitors. All right, I want to see what else you guys got. What are your recommendations that we should show? And if there was somebody you recommended and I didn't air them, just recommend them again. Awesome. All right, let's see what else we got going on in the chats. What do you guys think about my interpretation of creative? Do you think that I'm totally off base? Do you think the creative division is just great the way it is, or do you think it's time for an upgrade? Do you think the rules are consistent and fair and allow competitors a chance to win fairly, or do you think that there's significant problems that need to be fixed? Am I blowing things out of proportion? What else we got going on? Oh, by the way, guys, if you haven't, please, this show really depends on your participation. So please hit that share button right now. Just hit it. It pops up on your newsfeed. You can just keep watching. We'll get more people tuned in, and we'll keep growing this show. There's only so much that I can say, and then at some point it really depends on you guys participating, jumping in on the comments, talking amongst yourselves. Oh, I promised Mike Welch that we would watch some Anthony Murata. I think he's a great competitor. And Anthony Murata, a guy that's kind of lost to history. What makes Anthony awesome is he competed in an era before the creative division existed, and yet he was still a really strong competitor using only creative stuff. He never did flips. He wasn't a flipping athlete. He was a martial arts focused athlete, if that makes sense. It's not the best way to put it, but let's check it out. This is 2001. He competed several years after this, but I just saw this. See? Oh! Okay, he did a 540. Okay, he did an aerial. Whatever. But Anthony Murata's got, like, if you're trying to... Okay, he's doing tricks. But this is what he's got. He's got those kicks. The kicks are dead, man. The kicks in modern competition are dead. Nobody has those abilities. Nobody's training kicks like that anymore. You want to get ahead? You want to be light years ahead of competition? You kick like Anthony Murata. You go back to the drawing board, and you focus, and you put in the hours and hours and hours it takes to be able to do a side kick like that. Not everybody can do a side kick that powerful. Think of your favorite competitor on stage today, and they probably can't kick as strong as Anthony Murata's side kick right here. Ah! That's good stuff. All right, ignore the flips. Again, this is before creative existed. But if the creative division had existed during this time period, he would have excelled. Let me see if I can find a creative thing of him. So this is 2000 creative weapons. Cool. So this is when the creative division did exist. Robert says, Mark and Anthony had the best flare kicks I ever photographed. And both of them were martial artists. Yeah. I'm assuming you mean Anthony Atkins? Mark, I've got to photograph Mark Canazato before, and yeah, he's Mr. Perfect. He gets it done first try. So we're going to check out Anthony. And also what I like about Anthony Murata here as far as like comma work, he's using the commas. He's not doing like crazy tricks with them. He's just showing off his abilities, his comma work ability. He really focuses a lot more on like how can I cut opponents apart, and not so much how many times can I spin it on my thumb. And not to disrespect anybody that does that, because it's awesome, but it's a different time period, you know. Awesome. Anthony Murata, can't say enough good things about that dude. He was awesome to watch. Never was like the top of the food chain as far as a competitor. I'm sure he was on stage several times, but he had a lot of competitors, a lot of people that he had to beat out. He had to beat out Steve Tirada and Anthony Atkins, Daniel Sterling. He had to beat out Kim Do and Mike Welch, and there's a lot of people that he had to go against during his time period. So he doesn't always get the same level of respect. What else we got going on here? Obviously, everyone being shown too, but I mean martial artists first, trickers second. No, this Anthony. Robert, I assumed that you were going to have a link for me. I don't see a link. Richard Osborne has a link for me that says, "This is where it began." All right, that's an intriguing link. What's that link, buddy? I don't know what this is. Mystery video popping up here. World Championships. What? What is this? World Championships, West Germany, 1988. Oh, Jean Fernet. Okay. Okay. All right. Again, the topic of the show was the Creative Forms Division. 1988 was 15 years before the Creative Forms Division would come to be. This is before martial arts tricking existed, but this is one of the pioneers of the mindset where you don't have to do the old traditional stuff, and you could mix it up and really show off creativity and martial arts together. And again, if you're a new school competitor watching this and you want to like think ahead, like how can I stand out and be noticed in that really tough division, look at what the old guys are doing. Like, you can't disrespect the old guys, because the guys from the past, they worked just as hard as you to get to the top of the food chain, but they had a different focus on their work ethic. They focused more on martial mechanics and less on, flips or creative acrobatics, or creative acrobatics within the confines of the rules. You know what I mean? Check this guy out. Focus on their work ethic. They focus more on... I haven't seen this form. I know this competitor. I've seen him compete before. But yeah, he's got those kicks. His kicks are... Look at those kicks. Those are insane. They're crazy. Bam! Both sides. Kisses the sky all day. He's the original Chloe Bruce. I never said that. I take that back. It's stupid. Look at those kicks. Those are insane. They're crazy. Bam! Look at those. Kisses the sky all day. Now, if you did that today on stage, you'd probably be laughed off the floor, but you can still take that idea of like, how can I do multiple standing kicks very strong and clean? The slow kicks, he's showing you like, I have power. I have control. I am a martial artist. This is back in the day before jump spin wheel kicks were always landed 2 feet at the same time. It was more about like, how can I jump in the air, kick, and like cause damage and then land, which doesn't always mean you're going to land 2 feet at the same time. This is also back in the day when forms took forever. It was a long form. It was so long that I can't even replay it. But if you guys want to check him out, his name's Jean Fernet. You can see it up on the top here, maybe. You shrink it down. You want to write this guy's name down, study him on the internet. He's totally worth watching. Cool, so I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I'm going to have to wrap things up pretty soon here. It's been about an hour. I allow myself an hour every day to do live stream. So with that, I got 3 minutes. I think that leaves me time for one more form. So if you guys have any more requests that you want to see on the live show today, drop it in the comments, and we're going to play it up, and we'll talk about it. Show me your favorite creative forms competitor of all time. competing today, whatever you want. Let's get up on the show. Let's see what we got going on here. So if you guys have any more requests, Mickey Lee says awesome routine, long duration means endurance. Yeah, I mean, show me your favorite. Do you train a different way today? Of all time, Roland Osborne has often said that training today is kind of like training for a. Let's see what we got on here. What's that sport called? Biathlon? So it's basically because it involves you being able to go hard, go fast, really long, and then have a long extended period of time where you don't do anything, and then go hard, go fast, really long, and to be able to properly train like that is a unique type of training that a lot of other athletes don't experience. A lot of athletes are like, it's game time, we have an hour to play, you know, or 15 minutes to play or whatever. Or I'm running. It takes hours of consistent work. All right, here it is. This is the last one of the day. I can't tell who this is. I think I know who we're going to play. Type of training that a lot of other athletes don't experience. Wait. Is that right? It's game time. We have an hour to play. You know. All right, that's it. Final answer. Books closed. I found a form that we're going to finish off with today. 2016 Compete Nationals. This is in the 14 to 17-year-old division. Give it up. Ending the show for episode 13, Alan Davis. All right, that's it. Our favorite competitor is going to get an award. All right, now before I keep playing this, is in the 14 to 17-year-old. Can someone tell me, is this the first time Alan was on stage, or was this the year after? I don't remember. He was either. I think this is the first time. I'm pretty sure it was. I'm gonna pretend it was, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. But this is one of the turning points for Alan. When I met him, sorry, I'm just talking about myself now. But when I first met Alan was at Hyper Pro Camp 2013, I believe, and he wanted so badly to be a high-level competitor. Nobody knew who he was. He wasn't doing the circuit, and I remember talking with him in great detail, and I'm not taking all the credit here. I'm just that I know that there's other people that said the same thing to him, but I was like, man, you just stick with it, you keep competing, and you're gonna get your turn, and you're gonna be up on that stage. And I believe this is one of those moments where he got up on that stage. So let's check it out. I remember talking with him in great detail, and I'm not taking all the credit here. I'm just that I know that there's other people that said the same thing, but I was like, man, you just stick with it, you keep competing, and you're going to get your turn, and you're going to be up on that stage. And I believe this is one of those moments where he got up on Alan just brings the energy. I mean, Alan's going to be one of those competitors people remember, and they're going to remember him because he's passionate, and because he was super athletic. He had those hops. Saying in the past tense as if he's done competing. He's not done competing. He's just getting started. But Alan's awesome. He's got those creative flows. I'm pretty sure Alan watches Matt Emig videos. Just my hunch. Wow! Now it's creative division. And did he do a butterfly twist in the creative division? Let me check that again. Let me double check that. Did I just see that? Oh, no. Oh, tricky, Alan. That's tricky. This, again, goes to the whole thing of, like, what is a creative form? What are the rules and not? And a butterfly twist actually falls within the rules of creative division. You can... Okay, the judge is going to disqualify you for doing a butterfly twist, but if you read the rules and what the rules say, where your hips can't go above your head and you can't spin more than 360 degrees, a butterfly twist falls within that category. Alan cut his butterfly twist. He did like this, such a big illusion that it was somewhere between illusion and butterfly twist. I don't think it DQ'd him. I'm going to watch this one more time just to prove to you guys. Just to count it. Okay. In air takeoff. He's facing. Wait, I got my webcams backwards. No. I'm so confused. He's facing one direction. I'm gonna watch this one more time just to prove to you guys. Just to count it. There's his 360. In air takeoff. Ooh, you know what? Man, I don't know. I don't know if that was legal. I don't know what I'm talking about. He like over rotated it. He's facing one. Or maybe you can count facing the other way as his 360. Anyhow, it should be totally loud. That's all I gotta say about that. There's his 360. All right, Alan's the man. Give it for Alan. All right, with that, you guys, I gotta wrap this show up. I started a half hour late, so I'm already a half hour behind my day, but that's okay. I appreciate everybody that tunes in and watches this show. It's been fun. We've been doing this now. This is episode number 13. That's right, 13. 1 hour long episodes. All right, with that, you guys, that's a lot. That's a lot of talking. That's really cool. I appreciate every time you guys log in and you participate and you jump in the comments and stuff. And I have some plans for the show. It seems to be getting a lot of feedback, a lot of good positivity, a lot of growth. And I think I might do something really cool with it. But it really depends on if people keep tuning in. People keep participating. But in either case, I'm going to keep working to make this interesting for you guys and make this fun. I have some ideas. Let me know your feedback. You can send me a private message, but I'm just going to kind of like share some of the things that have been ruminating in my mind of where we could go with this show. One thing that I would be interested in doing is bringing on guests. So give me some floating thumbs up if you like the idea of having guests on the show. And we can talk about whatever we want to talk about and grow the sport that way. If you guys want, I might do a show where I turn it into a podcast, so you don't have to be here live, but you can tune in and catch the replay. Let me know if you want this to be a podcast, and you can listen to it in the car or on your way to school or whatever. We could do that as well. Give me another floating thumbs ups if that interests you. And I was also thinking of doing a YouTube thing, either broadcasting the show on YouTube or making more condensed, short videos that give you like information and help you answer all the questions you guys ask. Because sometimes the show isn't just showing forms off, but we talk about educational kind of stuff, like how to be better at social media and video editing and photography. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, you want me to grow a YouTube channel doing that, let me know that as well. But in either case, I appreciate every single time you guys tune in, and I'll catch you up on the next one. Tomorrow I have another appointment during the regular time, and I'm not sure I'll be able to film before that end, but I'll find a moment in the day where we'll do another live stream. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another topic, and we'll have fun with it. If you have any suggestions of what you want to see with the show, topics, how the show should be formatted, where the show should be shown, all those things like that, hit me up. I look forward to talking with you guys later. I'm out. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another